Alan here, you added some inputs or mics on the stage as well, right?
We did.
Okay.
So 1 through 8 are now these little red snakes, a little box.
You see this little box right down here?
Yeah, there's imagine half of them.
There's two up here to receive, and there's two down there to send. Oops. Get it.
Those are for mics on the stage?
Mics, instruments, whatever. And I assume that we'll probably want to define them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like phantom power, no phantom power, line level, mic level, depending on what's going to be plugged into them.
Right.
They can be set up for anything.
Okay.
They can
But
change on the fly. They don't have to be dedicated, but you would just, what he's referring to is that whether we add phantom power to power a microphone or whether it's just an instrument that you plugged into it.
Okay.
So, and those are 1 through 8, correct, on this board?
Perfect.
So 1 through 8
Kind of what we're used to.
to here is all those inputs up on the stage.
Okay.
Okay?
Those are most of the, okay, keep going, gotcha. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, I was like, well, wait, are these? But no, you're talking about hardwired mics.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which
Yeah, I'm back on
we
track.
use for the
So-
guitars with the DI box.
Yeah,
But that could be
We can
inserted
also
in here as well. As a direct box, you could take the,
Right. Those are just are the hardwire plugs, right?
correct,
there for the
correct,
stage.
correct.
Yeah.
So they could be anything that you want to put in them.
Okay, 1 through 8, got it.
All right? And then 9 through, what was it?
9 is piano,
9 is piano, okay.
9 is piano.
10 is spare.
Okay, empty. And then, so 11 through 17 were your wireless mics.
Okay.
And my thinking there was you guys have it box 1, box 2, box 3.
Love it.
So 11, drop the tens
Perfect.
digit, 11 is
check.
1, 12 is 2,
Yeah.
13 is 3, etc.
Perfect.
And they're labeled digitally on the display as well.
Okay,
Correct, and I'm
so
gonna-
what are the these guys? These were.
5 and 6 and 7. So 1 through 5 on your shears,
Okay,
6 and 7
6 and 7 are the.
Gotcha.
on those, and then
Okay.
8 is the lapel.
Okay.
And we have it labeled as lapel.
so
Okay.
you're saying, so you're saying 11 through 18 are 18, Michelle?
Yes, 17, 11 through 17.
17, I apologize.
2.
17 are,
Oh, they got a cover on them.
All wireless.
Maybe you could try.
Check. Oh, there it is. Check, check. 1, 2.
okay.
We'll do some EQ on that. You hear that? How dead it sounded? We'll fix that.
Okay, so those are all the wireless
Yep,
mics.
that was 17 and 18 on those
Okay.
two shores.
How do I say box? So we're basically ignoring 11, and so 12.
No, let's say that again.
Yeah, 11
So
is
9
1.
is the piano currently. 10 is
10
just
is
open. There's
empty.
nothing in it. We're going to use it as a spare.
Yep. Right.
Okay, and then 11
11
through.
is 1. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying ignore 11 because this is bad.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's
Sorry
bad
about
mic.
that.
It's a very
Bad
bad
mic?
mic. Yeah.
Bad mic.
Yeah.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Bad mic.
It only works when it wants
So,
Is it a
I'm a-
channel
to.
thing
Like
or is
Mike's
it a?
husband.
Have you tried that? Have
What?
you thought about whether it's a channel thing or is
What?
it a patch thing or is it
Who
just
knows?
somebody
I don't
dropped the
know.
mic?
It's the only one that gives us trouble.
I see.
So I just stopped using it
Gotcha.
because it cuts in and out.
Yeah, that could be a channel issue as well.
Okay.
Do you know how to do your channel changes and all that on these things?
Not here now.
Okay, that's something we could talk about.
this
Okay.
is my area.
I see. This is your area. Okay, well, that's something we could talk about.
That area
This area is
was
newer to me.
pre,
I never had any training
it's
on that.
pre both of us.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to excuse myself.
Okay.
Get to sisters. But I'll be en route. You can text me or call me if any questions pop up.
Perfect.
I think you've got a good
Yeah.
grip on where we left it. And
All
then
right.
if there's anything you discover. Oh, one thing I will mention.
Yes.
So in the future, we're talking about having full sequence capability of your power up cycle and power down cycle so you don't get the annoying pop.
Gotcha.
That should happen.
Okay.
It's largely in place. It's
Okay.
not finished because we need wiring and modules in place for the speakers to do that. but currently in this left rack is how you turn this system on now. So at the
Do we
top,
need to show them that?
yeah, let's show them.
Move your light around. Step
Yeah,
over
we should
here.
know how to turn
Okay, so this one is just turning on everything else but.
Correct. Audio is now handled by the sequencer.
Okay, gotcha.
It's on the top.
it. All right,
Oh, I
so
see it
it's
right
there.
there.
Sequence
Switch
on.
it at the right moment,
Yeah, okay,
and you're going to use that to turn it on.
okay.
Okay,
This is automated, so to speak.
Yeah, it'll do its own.
So like 3/4 of the way.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna
All
go
So
through. Use and abuse him.
we'll, walk through all that when that happens.
Okay,
And then I can, like I said, I can put a remote switch so you don't have to open that cabinet. We can have it on this wall.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ladies,
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. Thanks, Alan.
See you when I see you.
See you later. So one thing, I think it's important that I teach you this right up front about this mixer. It being a digital mixer, it's going to move, and you got to be kind of prepared for that. So in the old days, you could have just had your hands on something and made an adjustment. I want you to practice, not having your hand on the
Oh, I saw
faders
that.
at all.
I saw that when
'Cause
Alan did something. I was like,
anytime that you
"Oh, that's
create-
painful."
We create a mix.
Yes.
If you push a button, it may or may not go away.
Yeah.
You see how that's jumping
Yeah,
around?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm used to
every
that.
one of those will have their own, if you ever used them. You're not currently using them like that now,
Right.
but every one of those is going to dance around on that.
Yeah.
So you just got to train yourself to not have your hands on places.
Okay.
Because if you ever build yourself a critical mix,
Yeah.
it's not going to hurt it. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to hurt it. But if you have your hands there and you forget,
Oh, it's
then you're
gonna-
blocking
Right.
you're blocking something, and you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
changed
Yeah.
that mix.
Okay.
So the board really is set up pretty much straight out of the box. This comes out of the box user ready and user friendly, which I love that about Alan and Heath. So I guess the question would be, let me show you guys how to make mixes for your monitors and
Yeah,
stuff.
that was my question.
And then we'll go into EQing and stuff later, and we'll talk about that for every mic. And the fact that if most of these mics are all the same,
Yeah.
I can teach you how to like mix one of them and then copy and paste that, so you don't have to keep doing that over and over individually. It depends on really the person too, what they sound like, but for the general getting started point of EQ and stuff, we can help you copy and paste that really quickly. So mixes are, as you turn the board on, it's always going to be in what we call front of house, or the speakers for the people in the room, front of house. Okay, it starts up in that mode. So these are your mixers for all of your microphones and stuff, and this is the main out to the speakers.
Where's
So
the computer?
yeah. So if you ever had started it up and it started feeding back right away, you could grab this and pull it down.
Right, but where is the computer? Which one is the
Oh,
computer?
I see. Currently, computer is in 23 and 24. When we can
That's right
put
where
that somewhere else.
Nope, that's right.
That's where it was before.
Okay, that it is. Okay,
Yeah,
so we.
old dogs here, not
Okay.
too many new tricks.
So, and what that is it's an analog in from that computer. So basically, the cable that's coming out of the headphone out of that computer is just going straight into the board.
Yeah, because the USB was being weird.
Yes, and we did fix that, so we've tested it and we know it works. So if you ever did decide to stream or anything like that, that audio is there and it's good.
Awesome.
But we won't complicate your life with streaming at this point.
I will explode.
So, okay, so again, start up, it's ready to go, front of house.
Okay.
It's set. If then, do you guys have a preference as to where you would want, let's say you have two monitors down there on stage. Currently, those two are patched together, so anything we put in that mix, both speakers gets that mix.
That would be her call.
You could separate those if you wanted to down the road, if you needed to, but right now they're patched together.
I think for now, let's keep it that way.
Patched together,
Yeah.
okay. So, and do you have a preference of where you would like to see that on this board?
Let's have it make sense and have, where is it currently?
Let's just say it's not patched, and let's say, where would you like it?
Okay,
Would you want that to be mix 1 is that side, or would you like it to be one of the other numbers?
mix 1 is fine.
Okay, I like that as well. So those two monitors down there are mix 1.
Okay,
Your small little monitor over here, that could be mix 2, or it could be any
now
other
let's
number.
make it mix 2.
Okay, so pause for a second. I'm going to make that routing. So let's say you had, they wanted to hear the track, which let's say that music is the track.
Okay,
They wanted to hear track in mix 2.
okay,
Okay, so this, that the track is coming in here. You're going to hit mix 2.
okay.
So hit that button, and then just slide the fader up a little bit. You just made a mix.
Perfect, okay.
Let's say, and then the other guy goes, oh, I need some of that too in mix 1.
Okay, so mix 1's over here?
Nope,
No.
you would go to mix 1 on your buttons.
Oh my gosh, that's right, all right, so mix
Hit your
1.
button and then mix it up.
There's
And now
one
that
more
you've
there.
given those two great stuff, the choir's like, we need some of that. So that's mix 3. Perfect.
All right.
Now technically, if you walk around up there, you're going to hear that in all 3
In all
mixes.
3 mixes, okay.
But at different levels.
Now let's just say mix 2,
Okay,
just for fun. Let's just say that mix 2 started feeding back because you had a mic in there.
okay, so,
So you'd go mix 2, and you'd pull that down.
yeah, okay.
And it depends on if that were a microphone or whatever
Yeah,
as well.
I could also pull that down there.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, say that again. So if it's something's feeding back, go to the mix in whatever,
Yeah.
and then pull down.
I'm just gonna clear
anything
that.
that's-
Yeah, so if it was, say, my mic, then I would go to mix 2, where they're hearing my mic too much, and I would pull my mic down a
Okay,
little bit.
okay.
And we'll make that happen as well.
Because it's going to be different what they're hearing in the
Yep, yep, yep,
monitors
yep.
than the mains.
But in an emergency, I always want to teach you an emergency situation too. Let's say you don't know which mic is feeding back,
Yeah.
but you know that the monitors are feeding back.
Turn
You
on
could
the-
either just grab that, or you can actually hit the mute button.
Okay.
And what I'm going to probably set up for you is on these soft keys over here, we should set up what's called a bus or a bus mute,
Yeah.
meaning you want to mute everything, you hit this button. If you want just the monitors out, but you want front of house still up, you hit this button. We could set those up. They
Okay.
haven't been set up currently, but we can do that really quickly. But that's your safe. If something's feeding back and you don't know where it is,
Just
you
hit
know,
mute.
instead of messing up your mixes, just hit the mutes.
Okay.
And we'll set those up so that you have a
Okay.
master. But it's that way you don't have to go back and recreate something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
But let's take a microphone. You're
Okay.
okay. Let's just take one of your mics. And I'm tapping on it so I know that it's this mic.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to get out of that. So this mic is now coming into mix 2.
Okay.
And check, 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 check.
Okay.
There's your mic in mix 2. And we know it's mix 2. Why?
Because it's lit.
Because that mix 2 button is
Yeah.
on. Perfect. So if we want to add some of that to mix 1, I would just do the same.
And pull it
Interesting.
up, yeah.
There's another, must be
So
another
it's a
mic on. Check, 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 check. Yeah.
All the other ones are off.
Check, check, check.
There's
There's,
a hardwired one.
is it up
Yeah.
here somewhere?
There is, it's up there. Is that one on, maybe?
You want me to go check?
Maybe.
That's like the only thing I can do because I feel like y'all are talking Greek.
Now, I see something, I see a pattern. Can I just talk about that with you?
Okay.
So I see you go, you get to there and you're
Yeah.
like, get
Yeah.
a low.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that what did you learn it that way? Like,
No, I'm just being cautious because
Okay.
I don't know how much power this has.
So let
And I
me
do it
empower you
slowly.
on
Okay.
something really unique. This section of the board,
Okay.
this is called Unity.
Okay.
Okay? And what Unity is there for is
Mm-hmm.
it's to give you a visual representation that this is my safe zone.
All right.
So I know if I go to that,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to show up somewhere, but it's not going to feed back.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So, and there's a little bit of prep to get that so that we trust that,
Right.
like it's set up the right way. So currently, right now, if we turn that on, check, is it still on? I think I turned it off.
Was there one now?
Check, 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 check. It's getting pretty
That
loud.
one-
Number is
that
it?
one's
What number is
still-
it?
Yeah, I don't know, there's another mic up there. That could be the one that Alan plugged in. Oh,
think
wait,
it
It's plugged in, but it didn't sound like it was on.
it looks, oh, is there mic sitting up there on the floor?
Yeah.
Sing a tune for me.
Go do it one more time.
Pepper.
Go do it one more time.
But that's plugged in.
Remember to use your forward.
Keep going.
Somewhere in the dark night.
That's it. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's a wired mic up there. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I think you
Okay.
put it up there just so we could test it. but-
Gotcha.
So the thing
Okay.
is, it looks
Thank
like
you so
it's
much.
plugged into.
Give me a mic.
Do you want? Okay.
All right. So, I don't know. You feel like you got the mixes. You know where they're
Yeah.
originating from.
Yeah.
1 through
Yeah.
3.
May I ask the stupid question of
Yeah.
the day?
Absolutely.
Okay, so are we going to need to make the mix each Sunday?
Do you change
We don't
musicians a lot?
Change that much.
Okay.
It doesn't change that much.
Okay,
If we start adding musicians, then yeah, we'll probably have
Okay.
to change it a little bit.
okay,
But just a little bit because it's not a huge difference. We're
Gotcha.
not going to add like 5 more musicians.
Okay.
It's
So for a
pretty-
while, you'll
it's
probably-
pretty standard.
For a while, most mixes will be okay in the safe zone. They could step up
Yeah.
to a mic and,
okay.
Yeah.
and it'd be safe for anybody, but
Now, the mix would also include the podium mic?
Yeah.
Okay,
it can.
sorry, yeah, I'm in charge of the stupid questions of the day.
It's not stupid. It's just whatever
There are
is
no
up
stupid
is going to
questions.
come through these monitors
Gotcha.
for us.
1, 2, and 3
Yeah.
mixes, those are
So
the
if they
media
need
mixes.
more of Jen, we can push her
Perfect.
up in it.
Correct.
And I'll
If
do
they want less
these.
of me, we can pull me down.
Okay, so.
Can I show you something that's...
Yeah.
So that little guy is going to feed back more than those any day.
Yeah.
And I can tell already that it's already like kind of
It's
right on the
kinda-
edge of
yeah.
like way up high, like 16 kilohertz.
Okay.
So what you do to fix an EQ in that situation is you select it, so number 3, and then you can go up here and you can hit this button.
Okay.
And you'll notice that this changed.
Yeah.
The menu changed.
Yeah.
So what it was feeding back at like 16. So let's just grab this is your what's called your third octave EQ.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to see it, but I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in here. I can grab that and actually bring it down.
Oh, good. Oh,
Or you can highlight
Yeah,
it
good
and
to-
you can
yeah.
use the knob.
okay.
And that'll take out that frequency that was going to feed back.
Perfect.
And if there's other ones, sounds like it's pretty flat, which is what you want.
Right.
You want it
Can be
to-
there. Yeah.
I tend not to screw around with a bunch of EQing and stuff because I want it to sound as
Yep.
natural as possible.
Right.
But if you got to do it, you just do it.
Right. Right.
Now you have options. You have this third octave EQ.
Okay.
You also have this parametric EQ,
Okay.
which, and we'll go through this more in detail. But let's say I wanted to do that same cut that I did there. I can hit that button, and I can adjust this
Yeah.
all the way up to like 16. And then underneath it, I can control how much
How much
I
less?
dip out
yeah.
of it.
Yeah. Good.
right?
Okay.
So, and we'll
Okay.
go through those numbers and
Alright.
what they represent and everything.
Perfect. Yeah.
But this is just another option that you have for
Yeah.
EQing.
Yeah.
It's limitless. Every input channel has this on it. Every output channel has this on it.
Perfect. Okay.
So, what I'd like to do if I came back here in like 8 months is to see it like pretty clean, where you're not just dipping really
Yeah,
far,
yeah.
gashes in the EQs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just training.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but if it's this system is pretty flat, like I said, so you probably won't have to do a lot of that,
Yeah.
depending on what people need to hear.
Yeah. No, we really have. I mean, even, yeah. Yeah. I
But
think
that
it'll
little
be good.
guy, like I said, that little guy over there, especially if they want to put any of the microphones that you have in front of them in that
Yeah.
little thing, it's gonna tend to get a little wonky, like want to
Yeah.
feedback a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you do have the control that you could
Yes.
fix that problem.
Yes, I can do that for
So
them.
we'll see what happens. But,
Okay.
so we could move away from mixes and go into EQing and all that kind of stuff if you want to. Are you ready to?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you got everything you
Yep.
need to be able to build a
Yep.
mix?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you. You're cut.
This one's ringing 13.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's find that ring.
Let's find that ring.
So actually, you're in mix 3 now. So
Right.
you just mixed her into over there.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it ringing right in front of you?
Out of
Okay, so go to 1.
Okay.
And which mic is she on?
She's in
it that one?
13, that's right.
Okay. So let's just go to that mix
Mm-hmm.
because I can hear like it's like somewhere up there.
I hear it, yeah.
So again, you're in that mix,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've selected it, so that highlights everything you want to do. So go ahead and grab that, put your finger on that GEQ thing,
Okay.
and it's going to bring up another menu.
All right.
And one thing I like to do, because when I'm like on a really big show, I got to do it kind of fast.
Right.
So I can use this, and I can actually, because we know that feedback is kind of mid-low, somewhere in here, I dip a little bit, and then I adjust this over until that feedback goes away.
Okay.
And then I'm going to keep sneaking it up a little bit, see if I can make it ring.
How many do you want to read this from?
Is that the mic she's on?
I think so. Yeah.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
Just for training sake, we're going to create feedback. So I want you to know that we're doing this on purpose.
Okay.
So I'm still talking into a mic and you're gonna go for it. Okay, have fun with that.
Okay. We can talk in mics. I mean, this is not a problem.
That's actually quite amazing that we can
Yeah,
get that much
it's
gain out
pretty
of that,
good.
and it's
Yeah.
not like taking off.
What do you think?
But let's play with that and see if we can figure out where that's at.
Oh, you taking this? Yeah, no, because you have there.
Oh, there it is.
Whoa, that is.
Hey, you hear that?
Yeah.
feedback.
So it's somewhere in
It
there.
is really, there's the other thing. Michael gets up at.
So like 400 hertz,
and
450
talks like this, and I can't make
somewhere in there.
Okay.
But listen.
So instead of taking it out of the pre-EQ or the PEQ, I'm going to put it back in there.
Is this
And we're going to go here.
No. This might
If we
be,
go to 400,
this might be too much room.
somewhere in here, I like that. We can take that back out.
Oh, that's really here. Yeah.
Sounds like there's a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Usually good feedback always happens in at least two bands of EQ.
Yeah. Okay.
Bad feedback when it's a single single thing taken off, that's a bad sign you got a problem with gain or something.
Yeah.
That's just a loudness issue. But look how, we're like
Yeah.
really opened up there
Yeah.
as well.
That's amazing.
So if she walked up there right now, my guess is we're close in taking that out
Okay. Okay.
without feedback.
Perfect.
And it's just experimenting and learning what frequencies sound like. I would encourage you, if you're not quite familiar with how frequencies sound, there's an app you can put on your phone that'll just, from the lowest to the highest,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
learn
yeah.
what those things sound
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
And you'll hear them, and then you'll know where to go with it.
yeah. Okay.
But if you had to do it quick, don't be afraid to throw the PEQ on and just start messing around with frequency response and trying to find it. That'll kind of tell you where it is,
Okay.
give you a guide to kind of where you can look. But again, I'm gonna say the minimalist
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah.
without just coloring your entire
And
mix.
no, I totally believe in that. I've worked with a sound tech who just, yeah, he had
Yeah.
everything so complicated nobody else could figure out.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yeah,
what
I've
to
seen
do.
that plenty of times. So now, also, when they're talking, all of that noise is coming out of those monitors.
Yeah.
You're not even in front of house yet. So we could actually bring them down a bit and get out of that mix. So yeah, you don't even have her in front of house yet.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, we did pull in more chairs for that
We did
table.
pull more
So
chairs.
It's funny because it didn't really change that much.
No, I didn't.
So, because you don't want, we need to have this. I think this is as far back as we can get.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear those in the regular speakers now.
So,
Um,
so that's an interesting thing to think about too. Is like,
Yeah.
what do they sound like in front of house?
Right.
okay,
So let's
how
take those
far
mixes
over-
back out. Let's actually mute them.
Okay.
So we're just hearing front of house.
Okay.
Can you talk?
Talk, I apologize.
So that's just in front of house.
Wow.
Right.
Cynthia Larson, welcome
something
to
else.
Sound System. So glad that you are here.
Where's that coming from?
Sorry, we had to move the,
There she is. Okay. Keep going.
okay, there we go.
She's in 13.
I'm back.
Okay.
Is yours off?
So to me over here, it sounds a little muffled,
Yeah.
right? But you want to walk out there and listen.
Yeah.
Without any of these mixes turned on,
Mm-hmm.
you are in front of house and you're mixing to the audience,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And the same thing applies with the EQing and all that kind of stuff. It's all in there. You have a third octave EQ as well. You also have the PEQ in there as well. Right now you're running pretty flat.
Yeah.
So to me it sounded like you could cut just a little bit of like low mid-range and add just a touch of high stuff for the people who are a little bit hard of hearing. It give them a little intelligibility back. But that we would probably want to do that more per channel on the microphones versus overall,
Just general,
I think,
okay.
because that way we're not doubling up a problem. If you had,
Right.
let's say this person has a little kind of a duller voice and it was kind of, they don't have any higher, and then you went in and added, you
Yeah.
might create a feedback
Right,
loop
right,
because it's
right,
higher here as well as on the strip.
Okay,
Right.
so
And
show me again which
Which section you're in?
control is front
Like
of
that.
house.
Okay, so again, anytime that you are not in a mix,
Got it.
and this is a mix, all
Okay.
of these are mixes.
Gotcha.
Okay, so anytime you're not one of these lit up, you are mixing now what the audience hears or front of house.
That makes complete sense. Okay, I'm back on track.
Okay, and this is the master again, like the
Yep.
other ones,
Yep.
and then these are individual. Everything
Right.
individually
Right.
can be mixed. Every mic can be mixed individually.
So when I come in on Sunday, I will help. You may already have a mix taken care of, and so then I can help adjust that mix by pushing whatever, and then I can get out of the mix just by pushing the button again, right?
Correct.
So I'm in a mix. I'm
Yep.
out of a mix. Okay.
So you guys train yourself to always look to make sure you're not in a
Yes.
mix before
Yes.
you do a mix.
yeah.
Yes.
Because that way,
I'm not
or
mucking
the
with
other
mix,
side of that is train yourselves to put yourself in a mix
right?
so that you're mixing in the right place. If
Yeah.
she says, I need more
Mix
monitor
one,
on mix
mix
one,
two, mix
Yeah.
three. Totally get it.
make sure that you hit mix one and that you are in it and it's lit up.
Yep.
And then do a mix.
Yep. Yep.
Correct. Good.
Yep.
That's
Okay,
just
I
good
love it.
practice.
I
Same
love
thing
it.
with the hands thing.
Yep.
This is something you got to kind of look for.
Hover.
Okay, well,
And got all the, I need to adjust
Yeah.
when the high, when,
we're getting to the EQ and all
Okay.
that kind of stuff. You guys aren't like a high pressure church where you need a bunch of processing,
Nope.
which is really beautiful. And this system sounds really great. Like I said, with this mixer out of the box, it just sounds really great.
where did the other?
I have to tape it to my
So-
face or it's gonna.
So basically what you've done is you've created no real attachment to your ear. The best way to do that is to take this thing and actually form it to fit your ear. Don't be afraid, it's not going to hurt it. So, but it's going to come down to your comfort of what you want to feel where.
Okay.
It's going to kind of create a general pinching loop, not a pinch, but can I touch your ear?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, so let's get this cable off of it. Okay, so now that it's sitting nice on her ear. I'm going to take it back up. I'm going to take this mic,
Should
reef
it
it
be down,
down.
like
Yeah.
at her chin?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at that. Okay, we're watching. See? Okay.
Touching your ear again.
We're pesky.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to touch your face. Okay.
Okay, here's a mic.
I can use my mic again. I like to call it my Madonna mic, but
Yeah.
Work
that
our,
just shows my age. Although I'm not going to go see her in concert again.
No.
No.
You said you were.
She went on. I was, but the tickets are like $1,000
Oh,
or
yeah, no,
something.
thank you.
No, thank you. She's not worth that much. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
are you scared?
House was still on.
I'm going to try touching your ear.
Go for it.
Oh, we are close. Look at that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's just.
Oh my
That's
God!
like-
I don't even think I need tape.
You shouldn't
You
need tape.
shouldn't, yeah.
Tape's always good if you're doing disco up there, but if
I
you're just
mean,
kind of
Here
walking
was
around,
here was the difficulty.
you don't see
is
like.
it was anything that touched this
Mm-hmm.
made her go psh, psh, psh.
Well, let's try it.
Let's see.
Let's go up there and give us the word.
Am I on?
Yes? Wait. Oh. I'm seeing yellow.
I can't see.
Do you need
really.
batteries or are you good?
You were muted.
Oh, okay. Am I on now? Now I'm muted. No, now I'm
No,
on.
that's power. The other one was muted.
We see you.
So she should
At 18.
have 17
Oh, 17.
as the
It's
hardwire.
actually on 18.
And 18 is
18.
her personal,
Yeah.
is,
Is
yeah.
the lapel, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Correct. So
And I'm not on a mix.
you're not on a mix,
Okay.
but now remember this mic is different than all your other handhelds.
Okay.
It's like live. It's gonna feed. If it's ever gonna feed back, it's gonna feed back because of this mic.
Okay.
So always go slow. Bring it
Okay,
up
so
nice
she's
and
on-
slow.
Wait, am I touching the right one? I
Yeah,
can't
it's
tell from
18.
this.
And we're gonna set it up so that it's in that safe zone. See, it's not in the safe zone. So let me fix that real quick. Go ahead and just talk to us
Okay.
when you're comfy and ready.
Sorry, it got moved. Okay.
So how I'm creating the safe zone is I'm gonna bring the gain way down on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So right now it's pretty
Well,
hot.
it is nobler in the mind.
So I hit the select button, and that highlights our window. And in the window, we have all these different places we can go, but we're going to touch this red guy. You see how it highlighted it? It put a yellow ball around it. So now what I can do
There's the rub. We're in
is
that
I'm controlling that parameter. I'm going to turn it all the way down.
mortal coil must give us pause. Okay, crown him with many crowns, the lamb upon his throne.
It's
That's
actually
how it goes, right?
it's actually a great mic.
It is.
So now we've got a safe zone where we can go.
Okay, so how about take away those S's?
Got it.
Him who died for thee, and hail him as thy matchless
Okay.
king.
So the S's.
So we don't need that anymore, right?
Nope, we're good there.
So can I touch it again to get rid of that yellow halo?
You could, yeah.
Or does it
you could touch
matter?
it. See, that's what I was afraid of. It did though. You can touch it and you can turn it back off.
Okay.
Actually, what you got to do to turn it back off is to go to some other thing.
Look,
Oh,
my
okay.
mic is working.
Okay.
So now we hear a little feedback. You're
Yeah.
hearing the S's. I'm hearing a little ring because
We have
she's.
monitors here.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to this EQ section. So I highlight it.
Line cable back here
And
underneath there.
This is something that we'll need to teach you, just how all these different things work. But
It's the little
the S's, where the S's lay on this board is up here in this 10K
Yep.
16.
Yep.
So, I can do that and take a big sweep, big chunk of that top
Yeah.
end off. But I don't know what it sounds like out there, so we'll have to figure that out.
Go on, go.
But-
I'm gonna pull this down here. Is that all right? So you guys can.
But that's it.
So one other thing I need to ask you a question
Yes.
though too is how are you getting this recording?
And
Do
a
you-
condenser mic.
On this, I will tell you this board is designed to record right onto a thumb drive that you could take and put in your computer.
which would make my mind explode.
Okay.
Because what I do is I basically take the recording and then I go downstairs and edit everything.
Yes.
And so having more than one thing and having to match up would add
Oh, I
a
see.
few
So
hours
you're
of
ta-
time.
you're
Got
using the video as well.
As well, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
that
Stay
would
with
be-
that.
Yeah.
If you
So
guys
we're
expand
not
and
live, we are streaming, but we are not live streaming.
understood,
Right.
Yeah.
you're putting it up on your page.
Yep.
So if you guys grow into that and you want to add a camera, we could show you how to do that so it all syncs. It's
Yeah.
really simple. But the way you're doing it, let's leave it at
Yeah.
that. Okay. So basically what we
Premiere
did
Pro
is
and I will keep doing what we're doing.
perfect. Okay. So the other thing that she kind of fed back a little bit here as well.
You have to go keep talking.
Just a bit.
Here, you can explain to Mike the chairs.
Do you see how big and wide that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking out a whole bunch of frequencies. But it sounds to me like she's kind of feeding back in the 250 range.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change that to 250. Somewhere in there. And then I want to narrow that out so I don't lose a whole bunch of sound.
Right.
I hit this button on the top. This is what we call Q, meaning the quotient, like how big the thing is. If I turn this way, you see how skinny it
Narrows
got?
it out. Yep.
If I go this way, it gets really big.
Yep.
So I'm just going to tip that out so it's kind of like that, and then I'm going to make this dip. And then, till I really know what that frequency is,
There, but then we were putting them off a little so that people aren't, I think that's
somewhere.
That's already better.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got 4 points of EQ filter.
Okay.
And those can be really tight or they can be really wide.
Yeah.
If you had this low, like really low hum kind of sound to it, you got a 5th filter that you can add in there that takes, like, if I turn it on and I tap it, I can take all of the bass out of this thing.
Which her voice, we really don't want to.
Yeah, we want it kind of live and
you
full.
see how we did them off a little.
But you'll see if I do this, see
Yep.
how it took everything out?
Yeah.
Just so that people can see maybe a little better.
Now she's back to full range.
It's not a
Yeah.
whole, like,
But there is a dip in that high end, and you can experiment with that over time. Like,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and listen to your edit. If you feel still like you're de-essing too tight, just
Yeah,
maybe tip
I
that out a
automatically-
little bit
that's
more.
the thing. It's an automatic. Before she even starts talking, I add the de-esser and their two levels, and then I
Gotcha.
switch.
What are you
and-
editing in? Can I ask?
Premiere Pro.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be flat
So
right
this
off.
all looks
Yeah,
very
very similar. Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's
I think it's a little bit.
go with that a little bit. I'm going to open that up just a touch.
A little bit, yeah. So I wish we had, where are those poles?
There.
I'll get a pic.
That's better, I think.
I
But it-
have an idea.
But it'll be totally up to your you're experimenting with your program down there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
See
We'll
if
see
you
how it
need
goes.
more or less.
Yep. No, but this helps because if we're already adjusting it at this, even though I have a condenser on her,
Yeah.
it actually does help.
But if I came back here in a year and I felt like you were doing this kind of stuff, I would be like, okay,
What are
we
you
got a
doing?
problem. We got a problem either with gain structure, the input's way too loud, or you don't have the mic placed right on her face, or something.
Right.
Yeah.
We see this all the time, where
Yeah.
people just keep EQing to the point where they've EQ'd it so bad
That it's no longer.
that they can no
I'm not
longer.
that person,
There's
trust
no
me.
longer any intelligibility.
No.
So, slowly make those adjustments and figure out what you really need. All right? And there's, like I said, there's just endless amounts of information that you can get into in here.
Less is more.
But less
Aaron.
is more.
Less is more.
We're happy the way it's working. You have such a great sounding church that we don't
Yeah.
have to mess
Yeah, it
around with
really
it too
is.
much, which
It
is
really has
really
been nice.
helpful. You remember when I was showing you the EQing for the front of house master area? So there's this fun little button on here that in case it's hard for you to kind of see that, to go in and actually touch that and move it around, you can hit this button right here. It says GEQ. And now these faders become the controllers of those.
Oh, isn't that nifty?
Isn't that nice?
That's nifty.
Just so that you have.
So we're
it
not
just-
going.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not really
It's not
looking.
that light up here.
And you'll notice on this as well, all these numbers that are underneath there are all written on top of each fader as well.
Okay.
So this is the front. So
Front of
if I'm
house.
gonna have to, if
This will probably be something we'll set, and you'll never really have to touch it again.
thank you.
Hopefully, most everything like that. I mean, EQing, depending on who walks in, if it's a man or a boy or a girl or a child or something on a microphone, you might have to EQ a little bit based on whatever that is. But and what's happening with these red lights is it's telling you which frequencies are really being activated when the noise in the room.
Yeah.
So why are these not on?
That's a good question.
I mean, this
We
one.
it's just something we did,
Yeah.
turned them off. But
Okay.
if you were to talk in a mic, you could tell kind of. This kind of gives you a good representation if there is feedback. Those red things are kind of showing you
Yeah.
where that might be. Visually, it might give you a quick little.
Right.
And at this point, those reds, that's where we would
Possibly, yeah, it could be a frequency that you might have to adjust.
You're saying that it should be a
Set and
set
walk
already.
away. Yeah. And to get out of that, I'm just going to push that button again and get back to what I call the first layer, your
Right.
front of house layer. Each one of these is another layer, but that's your front of house. So realistically, you only have front of house and 3 mixes.
Right.
Why is that? Wait, what number is that? Oh, that's the podium.
It's probably hearing the monitors up there.
Yeah, and that as is
think.
that one.
Nope, they're muted. So it's not hearing the monitors, it's hearing
hearing
the
the
house.
front house.
Yeah.
See what I did there? I said it right.
You did.
You did it right.
Front of house.
I'm going to label this as piano. Let me show them labeling. So come over my shoulder. So I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to say piano. Hit OK. And now it's labeled piano up there. We turn the phantom power on so we know that that's working. We've got a ton of it in the house now. So right now you're going to learn how to label your board. So we've done a couple of them already, but you're going to label the guitar 1 and guitar 2 on channel 1 and channel 2. So normally you would hit your first channel, so you would select channel 1. And then you're going to go over here and you're going to touch this top part. And that's going to bring up your writing strip. Now we put something in there earlier, so I'm going to get rid of that. And you're going to put in there, what do we say? G.
Well, I'm just going to call it that. Guitar and 1. Okay.
Okay, now let's hit OK and save it. And you'll notice that it's there.
Very
Got
good.
1.
Okay.
And then go to 2. Select. And the green
Oh, the
button.
select, sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
And then touch there. And then guitar 2. Got 2.
I took the stickies off the back and I'm taking them downstairs and putting them in the top drawer.
Got it. Look at you. You're a whiz now. And then earlier we did piano, which is the real piano. It's already
Okay, so
in
it's
there.
already in there. Okay.
And then this one is
keyboard,
unlabeled yet,
so-
and that's your keyboard or
Okay.
whatever you want to call it. Keys,
Okay.
something.
I'll just call it keys. All right.
Okay. Now you've labeled 1 and 2 and 8 and 9. The rest of them are still kind of open because
Yeah.
you don't know
We
what
don't
you're
know
going to
if
put
we'll
in
have
there.
other
But
instruments
when
there
it
yet.
happens, you'll know how to do it, right?
Perfect. Perfect.
And I gave you a little bit of a mix, like in the piano or in the keys.
Okay.
If you notice, we select that channel. I can go over here to the mixes, and you see that we have a couple of mixes going on.
Yeah. Okay.
So both the piano and the keyboard are in the mixes.
Very good. Okay.
Just so you know, remember we were talking about safe zones, like the Unity?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did put both the keyboard and the piano in the safe zone. So
Okay.
if you were mixing, you could easily just go up and know
Yeah.
that that's an okay spot to be in.
Okay.
The piano is a little bit louder in the
Yes,
house
yes.
because it's just a natural the way
Yes,
it is.
it is.
But in your mixes, for
Yeah.
sure, this is safe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to feed back.
Okay.
So I think you're good.
Perfect. It's exciting.
You are mixing front of house
Okay.
without being in a mix.
Okay.
So, got any questions I can answer for you? Got any concerns?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's fairly straightforward.
Yeah, so similar to like you had before, where you would.
It
know.
is, other than that it's digital, but that's
Yeah.